If you're thinking about moving to Colorado Springs, you probably have seen videos about all the pros and cons, but today we wanted to do something just a little bit different.
So Madison moved here from Arizona. I'm from Hawaii. There's some things that we expected when we first moved out here. There's also some things that totally caught us off guard.
Some of the things that caught us off guard have been good surprises, some of the things a little bit annoying, but overall moving here has been one of the best decisions that we have ever made as a family. So today we're going to share things that genuinely shocked us when moving to Colorado Springs. We moved here from Arizona because we wanted something different for our family. We wanted 4 seasons, we wanted to spend a little bit more time outdoors. Honestly, Colorado Springs was not even on our radar at first, but after moving here, we completely fell in love with it. Start with my favorite surprise, the weather. Like I said, we came from Arizona where it was 120 degrees in the summer. We have 2 boys, they're 3 and 5, and we just could not stay inside all summer. People always ask us, does Colorado get hot? Yes, absolutely. We do have 90-degree days, but here's what surprised us. It actually cools off. In the evenings, it's nice. You can sit on the patio with a glass of wine. The cool breeze hits you, and it's like, what, 60, 70? Yeah, you get hot days, but then you get cool evenings and cool mornings, which we did not have in Arizona. I also absolutely love the Colorado thunderstorms. We had monsoon season in Arizona, but here it's most afternoons during the summer, and you get rain, clouds. We do get hail, which we don't love, but it's just such a cool vibe because in Arizona they were very few and far between.
Coming from Hawaii, I wasn't used to having all 4 seasons. Of course, there it's going to be the same weather every single day. So the snow definitely took a lot of getting used to. You know, getting your home ready for winter is a big thing. Having to blow out your sprinkler system or worry about your pipes freezing, that was completely new to me. But after the first year, you totally get used to it, and now I enjoy having all these different seasons.
And some people ask if the snow is terrible during the winter, and it's not. It will snow, and we've had a few big snowstorms where we've stayed inside or they've closed roads, but for the most part, when it snows, it melts really quickly because we're at a high elevation, so the sun is super strong here. The snow melts quickly. There are days in the winter where it snows that morning, and then we're going on runs in short sleeve shirts with snow on the ground, but it doesn't feel freezing.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is it can be, 30 degrees, but if the sun's out, it feels like it's 70.
Yeah. So let's talk about something that we don't love. The wind. You'll wake up thinking that it's going to be a beautiful day. You'll go to lunch, make lunch reservations, sit out on the patio, and then it is a hurricane. And you don't even want to be outside, which is terrible because it's 70, but the wind is so strong. So that's one thing we don't love, but in comparison to everything else, we'll take it. I don't think I will ever get used to is Pikes Peak. No matter if we're driving to show houses, going to the grocery store, you see Pikes Peak pretty much everywhere that you are in the city, and it is absolutely incredible, especially when there's snow at the top.
Coming from Hawaii, one of my favorite things about here is how easy it is to get to nature. Obviously, Hawaii is beautiful in its own right. It's got beautiful hikes, it's got beautiful beaches, but from here, you could be at your house, and then 10 minutes later, you can be in the mountains. In addition to that, you could drive another 10 minutes, and you could be at Costco, which is my personal favorite.
Or Target.
Or Target or Starbucks will be where Madison's going.
One thing that's really nice too is in Arizona, there were some cool spots, but you had to drive like an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to them. And here you can drive from your house and be at a creek or mountains within 10 to 15 minutes. And I absolutely love that. This one surprised us so much. There are a ton of free or super affordable things to do with kids. Our boys are 3 and 5. And in Arizona, I feel like it was really hard to find things to do with kids, and if you did, it was super expensive. Here, there are endless options. There are parks everywhere, nature centers, the libraries. There are tons of libraries here, and they all have specific kids areas that have story times. They have pause to read where the kids can read to dogs. They have different events planned. They have craft time. So if you want to plan something every day of the week, which we do, we have Mondays are library days, Tuesdays are hiking days. You can go a whole week with kids and not spend money because there's so many kid-friendly activities here in Colorado Springs.
To add on to that, one of my favorite things to take the boys to do is to go to the nature centers. There's 3 nature centers that are within 10 minutes, and they all have different activities to do, but they have awesome hikes. Inside the nature center themselves, there's things that the kids can learn about, and that's all free.
And I feel like I was going to touch on this later, but every nature center we go into, everyone is so friendly and so welcoming and like excited that you're there. That's what I was going to touch on later, but you'll hear different things because there's a lot of transplants in Colorado Springs. So people come from southern states where they're like, people aren't as nice in Colorado Springs, but in my opinion, at least from Arizona, everyone is so nice here. You obviously come across people that aren't happy every once in a while, but for the most part, everyone is so friendly.
From Hawaii, all the homes are either ranch homes or 2-story homes. Basements did not exist. So that was one thing that threw me off coming here is almost every house is going to have a basement. Now, if it has a finished basement, that's great. But if it has an unfinished basement, well, I'll let her explain that.
I had to get used to unfinished basements because similar to Hawaii, Arizona is the same. You do not really have basements in Arizona. And so unfinished basements, to me at first at least, were creepy. Even still, when I'm doing home tours and doing for relocation clients and I'm doing video tours and I'm going into a dark unfinished basement, of course, there are benefits to that because you're getting that extra square footage that you can use down the road. You can always finish it. It's nice to have that, but a little creepy. It is a little creepy.
Things that also stood out when we were touring homes here is there's a lot of split level homes. So whether it's just a regular split level or like tri-level homes, those are also houses that are not common in Hawaii or Arizona. So that is definitely, it takes some getting used to of how to navigate those houses.
Yeah, navigate, and then just when you're coming here from another state and kind of having a home that you're picturing, you're always probably going to have either a basement or some kind of multiple story home.
With that too is they are hard to find just a single story ranch style homes, but there are still ranch style homes that have either a basement or a second story, because all that means is that you've got all the things that you need to live on that one first floor.
Which can be beneficial because if you have everything, the main living on the first floor, but then you have a basement or an unfinished basement for storage or a home gym, gives you that extra square footage and extra room to use.
A lot of people ask us about the cost of living coming to Colorado Springs. Really, obviously coming from Hawaii, the cost of living is significantly less than what it was back there. But coming from Arizona, we didn't see too much of a difference overall. Prices are slightly higher. Where I saw the biggest impact was going to be with the taxes. We were paying probably twice as much income tax here than we were there. So that was the biggest cost difference that we saw. And, you know, to be driving around with the roads having potholes in it.
It's frustrating. Yeah,
wasn't ideal.
We were gonna touch on this later, but the potholes here will launch you into space. Memorize them because you know there's one coming up. Can we fix the potholes with all the money we pay in taxes? But again, in comparison to everything else, but the potholes are some serious potholes. Overall, housing, it depends on the neighborhood. If you're in southern Colorado Springs, you're going to get more affordability compared to northern Colorado Springs. But as far as the restaurants, groceries, things of that sort, I don't think it was a dramatic price increase from Arizona. One thing our kids absolutely love here is the wildlife. In Arizona, we had coyotes. Here, we will randomly see deer, squirrels, antelope. Is that what they are? Things that look like antelope that are everywhere, but we did not see that in Arizona. And I mean, it's driving to the coffee shop. I'm actually gonna put it in here. I was dropping something off to a past client the other day, just 10 to 15 minutes north of us, and deer just walked up to my car. I think that's so cool. Being from Arizona, we're not used to that, and my boys absolutely love it. So in Arizona, it's obviously hot and it's dry, and so I thought that I was going to be leaving the dry air, but it is actually more dry here in Colorado than it was in Arizona. I definitely feel it. My skin feels more dry, my hair feels more dry. I have 52 chopsticks that I have in my pocket and my purse and my car. It's just, you feel it a lot more, and you can get overheated a lot more, I think, here, even though Arizona's hotter because the air is so dry. Elevation here is just a lot more intense. I think you're really prepared for it in Arizona, and here in Colorado, when you're like, oh, the weather is so nice, you don't really expect it. So that's one thing that caught me off guard as well.
I would say that it is probably more seasonal. You know, you definitely feel it more in those winter months, whereas when it's like spring or summer, it definitely eases up a little bit.
We loved is Colorado's universal preschool program. It's called UPK. When we moved into Colorado, our son was just starting. I think we were here for a year before he started preschool, and so in Arizona, you have to pay for preschool or they just go into kindergarten. You can apply for UPK and you get a choice. You put your zip code in and you get a choice of what school to apply for. I think you get 3 choices. It's completely free and the state covers it. We had the best experience. We are actually going to homeschool, but we wanted to put him into preschool for a little bit, get those social skills, and I cannot say enough great things, and it was completely free. And that was really surprising being from Arizona, and a very happy surprise.
To add to that, it's been a few months since our son has ended preschool and still talks about his preschool teacher nonstop. She's literally his favorite person. She trumps us. Yeah. Honestly.
I cried when he left preschool. And that was one thing when we toured the preschool as well. I think they said most of the teachers, the preschool teachers, it's purely a preschool that he went to, had master's degrees. And I feel like he just learned so much and they were so loving. And best experience.
One thing that I hear a lot of people talk about when they come from out of state is how there's no nightlife here in Colorado Springs. That's true to an extent. So if you're in your 20s and you're looking for a club to party at, there's not really anything like that out here. Me and Madison, it's kind of like the perfect nightlife where we can still go out. There's awesome bars that you can go to. There's speakeasy. There's different activities that you can do with drinking. There's painting with a twist and other things like that. It's kind of like the perfect experience, but if you're single and you're looking to party and kind of like find someone that way, there's not a whole lot like that going on here.
Yeah, I always laugh when people talk about nightlife because we are in our 30s with 2 kids, so nightlife isn't really a thing for us. But like Beau said, if we want to do like a date night, there's lots of really cool speakeasies. One of our favorite things, it's called Painting with a Twist, and they're so much fun. They have a bar and they have different themes that you can go to, and then we're still in bed by like 10 o'clock. One of our favorite date night spots, if you are in Colorado Springs or relocating and you're trying to find your favorite date night spots, is Roadhouse Cinemas, and it's a movie theater. It's absolutely adorable. They have heated seats. You can order food, drinks, and that is like the ideal date night for parents because all knocked out in like 2.5 hours. You can get dinner, drinks, and watch a movie and recline in your seats and maybe take a nap.
With that, if you were to bring your kids there or something, they also have like an arcade, so they have a bunch of games that they can play as well. So definitely can be a date night or like a family affair.
I'm going to touch on this, but that's one thing I hear too is there's nothing to do in Colorado Springs. There is so much to do in Colorado Springs. You just have to go in and find it. There are a ton of activities, like Beau said. You can spend the day at the arcade, seeing a movie, grabbing lunch, and just spend the day there. And there are a ton of things like that in Colorado Springs.
Obviously, no place is perfect. Every city is going to have something that you wish would change a little bit. But I would say that moving here was probably the best thing that we could have done for our family. You take into consideration like the scenery, the things to do, the outdoor lifestyle, the weather, the people, and just the slower pace overall. That totally outweighs any of the cons that we've come across living here.
We are Madison and Beau Lopez. We are parents of 2. Our boys are 3 and 5, and we are also your local Colorado Springs real estate agents. We relocated here ourselves, so we know what we needed when we relocated here, so we became that. If you're thinking about moving to Colorado Springs and you have questions about neighborhoods, school, commute times, or our favorite local coffee shops, which I have a ton of, or what it's actually like living here, we would love to help. Leave your questions in the comments. We will make sure that we answer every single one.
And make sure to subscribe. We're gonna update videos weekly, so if you want more information about things to do in Colorado Springs or what that lifestyle is like, there's going to be more coming soon. Also, if you're relocating to Colorado Springs or if you just need help finding a home out here, our information is going to be in the description here. So if you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out.